I was at an astronomy festival. It's on the Isle of Lewis. And the guy who was organising it said, would you like to go to the stones of Callanish? I was very lucky. I was left there alone to wander around the stones. And I started thinking about different ideas that I'd learned. I started thinking about the idea of the block universe, that beautiful idea that all of the moments in time that have occurred remain existing in the block universe, this block of time. So though we ourselves cannot go back to those moments that have been so special and so delightful, we can at least have the consolation of thinking that moment is still somewhere in time. Thinking about these things, walking around the stones, and then I just stopped in the middle and I just enjoyed the near silence. In the middle, there's this rock that's almost the shape of a palm, and as I looked at that, I thought, I want to put the palm of my hand on that rock. And as I put my palm on that rock, I suddenly had this moment of transcendence. My head became vivid with all of these different images of moments that had existed for the other people who, like me, had put the palm of their hand on that rock. And I saw people in Wellington boots, and I saw people in sandals, and I saw people in bare feet, and I saw people wearing rabbit fur, and I saw different skies, and I imagined different gods that had existed, and I saw all of these layers of time. It was as if all of these different books I'd read, all of these different thoughts I had, they all suddenly just exploded out of me, ran down my arm, my hand, hit the rock, bounced back, and I saw all of the echoes of those stories. And for me, that was very, very real, and yet also it was as much of a fantasy as me arguing with an old man that's actually a thistle. But it didn't matter. I could have both the real world and some geological understanding, and I could also have the fantasies of my brain, and those two things could exist together, a sense of a reality, but a sense of reality that also gives us some kind of hope. Last night, a ghost collided with my head. It was the light from something dead. Once it had breathed hydrogen into helium, created a beacon, projected its life across the sky. And then some of that life hit me in the eye and expanded my mind. In its size and in its power, it was grander than I could ever be. But it never knew how grand it was. It never knew the awe it inspired. It never experienced its existence. There was nothing it was like to be that star, only something it was like to marvel at that star, because the stars cannot wonder about the stars. And Jupiter too is without curiosity. Me, I'm small and I'm fragile, and I'm easily felled by meteorites or by microbes. But I'm pugnacious, inquiring, tenacious. I can chew on the quandaries of the cosmos. I've got a skull full of pictures and questions and problems too. For instance, I don't like my anxiety. But then I realize it might also be my fire, because much that destroys me might also create me. There is something it is like to be me. And it's not always satisfactory. My atoms battle, my molecules revolt, but still, more than the single line of an equation or a solo chemical reaction. Confused, confusing, absurd. But flashes of inspiration. And out of my ashes may grow apples. Emergent complexity briefly defeats the void.